Hi guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. We are here in Rochester, which is a place in Kent in the United Kingdom. So whoever watches this all over the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and a happy birthday to Joanna Lumley. I hope she has an absolutely fabulous day, sweetie darling.
Joanna Lumley's birthday. Alexa, how old is Joanna Lumley?
Joanna Lumley is 77 years old.
My goodness, doesn't time fly? Joanna Lumley's 77. I don't know if anybody else watched that Ruby Wax program yesterday. Like, she was cast away on a desert island by herself, and there was warning of foul language. I watched that, some of it. I didn't watch the end bit, but she is best friends with Joanna Lumley. Ruby Wax. Alexa, how old is Ruby Wax?
Ruby Wax is 70 years old.
Ruby Wax is 70. So they cast a 70-year-old lady on an island by herself, and we watched Ruby Wax killing crabs, just finding stuff to eat. She was like on a desert island like for a couple of weeks and learning how to survive and cope by yourself. So there was a lot of swearing, but it was late at night anyway. Yeah, I watched that for a bit last night. Learning to live without anything, including your makeup. So she was getting a bit frustrated and angry, and there was a race with crabs, like hermit crabs. She made friends with hermit crabs. When I was in a police cell illegally for 18 hours, I made friends with a bug. I was talking to a black bug in my prison cell. I was actually told I was put in that cell illegally. They had no case to put me in a prison cell. And when you are confined in a small cell for several hours, you can go mad. And I do appreciate people that are locked up. It drives you mad. I started singing because that's how I've always coped with things with music. So music keeps me going, you see. Music keeps me going, so I started singing Oranges and Lemons, the Bells of St. Clements. When I was put in a cell, I couldn't Adam and Eve it. I couldn't believe it. They had no grounds to put me in a prison cell, none whatsoever. And at the end, when I came out after 18 hours, I was given a Scottish prison solicitor. He said to me, just say no comment. He said, you're in here illegally. There's no statement being made, no nothing. But if you embellish or keep going on, they could find grounds to keep you for longer. So I kept my mouth shut. I said no comment. I shouldn't have been in there. What happened was there was a to-do, like an argument that got out of hand. I rang the police. Instead of, they arrested me outside my mum's address. So they arrested me outside my mother and father's address, which I didn't live in there. They should have arrested me outside my home, but they didn't. They arrested me outside my parents' home. I don't think they were real police. There was two women in there. One was called Julie, and she had an Australian accent and long, dark black hair. Julie did. And I was trying to explain to her that I was fed up of all this. I'd reported my father for crimes and they'd not bothered to arrest him. They're arresting me for nothing. And I was getting rather upset, right? That I'm being picked on. I said, how comes that I've been arrested when I called the police for someone being abusive to me. How comes I'm in a cell? My family didn't believe it. They couldn't believe I was being taken off. Even my father stood up and he said, he didn't believe. My father had got me to ring the police. It was my father who gave me the telephone to ring the police. I didn't want to ring the police. My father gave me the phone to ring the police on the person. I didn't want to ring the police because I know every time I've got the police involved in something, they've they've picked on me. So my father stood up and he said, "You can't take Ginestra away." Ginestra didn't do anything, and basically I was taken away and I was put in a cell for 18 hours. And you can't replace those hours that I've lost. I can't replace them. I've just got to forget it and move on. If somebody is wrongly imprisoned, you can't get back your life. You can't get back those hours. You've just got to get on with it. So I feel for people that have been wrongly imprisoned for crimes they haven't committed, and it does happen. It does happen. But that was a long time ago. That was 2013. And you give up calling the police because it happened about 3 times. I rang the police. I said, this is happening. And either the perpetrator turns it round and the police believe them and they put me in a cell. This is how, domestic violence abusers and abusive men or women, you call the police come out and then they turn it around. They turn it around and, police need to be trained and solicitors, etc., to how men and women can manipulate the police and the doctors and make out that the victim is the perpetrator. They twist it round. They're manipulators. So police need training in this, and so do solicitors, because when I was going through a court case and I was trying to get my children back, my solicitor stuck up for my ex. My solicitor stuck up for him because he had said, "Oh, that's a nice suit you've got on," and he opened the door for my solicitor, and she said, "Oh, what a charming man." But you've got to remember that serial killers, when you ask a next door neighbour, "Oh, I didn't know he was, didn't you know he was a serial killer?" "No, he was a nice, polite man." So you've got to see beyond their trickery. You see, just because someone opens the door for you, says you've got a nice dress on, it doesn't mean they're a nice person, right? So this is what happened to me, and I'm used to that. I'm used to the perpetrators manipulating people and making me look like the bad guy when they're the bad guy. I'm used to that. So, Alexa, what's the time?
It's 11:39 a.m.
Right. I'm not going to the Sweeps Festival today. I haven't been in the co-op either. It doesn't mean I haven't got money and I haven't got food, because I have. I'm going to cook myself some lunch. I'm going to sit down and relax. I'm tired. I'm not a young woman. I'm not in my 20s. I can't run around like I used to do. And I can't stand on my legs for ages either. I've made myself a cup of coffee. I took Max out for a walk. And I was enjoying the Rochester Riverside, right? There's people sat outside the co-op with a husky. A husky's not relevant to me. I don't know anyone that owns a husky. All I've got is a little chihuahua. I talk to people. I talk to dog walkers. There's no harm in saying good morning to somebody. That's how you make friends. If you scowl and you're miserable, no one's going to talk to you, are they? So I walked towards Costa Coffee. The lady with the husky dog was sitting with the bloke with the beard that looks a bit similar to my dad Derek years ago, with the little dog Betty. And as I walked towards Costa Coffee, they got up, no word of a lie, they got up and they walked away. There was a man sat down in a pair of green Wellingtons with a dog called Barney. and Max happened to go up to Barney and sniff Barney, and I just said good morning to the guy with the dog, right? Then I walked onto the field. There was two boys, lads in their 20s, walking together. There was a man with a plastic bag, saggy man boobs, and a bald head. So he walked in front of me, and there was the couple, the one short lady like my mum and a very tall man like my dad, and they were walking together and they were waving at the canoeists, because as I was walking on the way home, there was about 10 people in canoes on the Rochester Riverside water paddling along. So the elderly couple, and she had a grey beanie hat on, were waving at the people canoeing in the water. So I carried on and I just walked home, and there was a couple with a child on a trike, so they saw it, and as the food lorry reversed onto the flats opposite me, not Ines Apartments, the one up from them. So I had as the lorry reversing, but there was a couple with a child tricycling. So they saw the Asda lorry reversing towards me, because there's a guy called John Rose, that worked for Asda, that was having his mail addressed to my flat. And this John Rose is supposed to be in his 30s, and I'm 54 and I'm a woman. I don't know how John Rose's post has been coming to my address, because I've kept sending it back when I see the post person, which I don't very often see the post person anymore. So I came back into the flat, and you know, I'm just trying to relax and get on with the rest of my day, and the whole street looks like a TV set. It does. Let's take a look at my plants, shall we? If I'm able to show you without dogs barking. That is a begonia I got from Rochester High Street yesterday. That is a red begonia in a plant pot. As you can see, my seedlings are coming along. I'm waiting for another bag of compost. The rhubarb is in that hanging basket, and when it starts to grow, I'll transfer it to that turquoise pot. There's Max. So we've got the seedlings there. The lupins are in that Quality Street box, I believe. And we've got herbs in the small little pot there. We've got herbs in, right? So this is Corey's Road this morning. Just wanted to show you my plants. But I mean, you see, Sue is my mum Jennifer's neighbour, and my mum Jennifer doesn't go out at Durrell Gardens. So my mum said to me this morning that Sue came out and walked her dog past my mum and told her it was having a wee. So do you see what my life is like? I went out yesterday. I enjoyed it, but I don't want to do it again. I'm tired, right? I listened to my mum, the words she said, and of course it can affect you. If you take it right in, you know, it can affect you. So I try not to digest it. I just try to get on with it. I've been through some rough times, and also going on to what people sell at places, which I'm going to go on to in the next video, because selling things that are not appropriate to children at fairs, festivals, carnivals, you know, can lead them to taking drugs and get involved in serious shit, right? Because it did in Gloucestershire, didn't it? Putting things that aren't relevant for children in cranes and letting them have access to things that are not appropriate for their age. See you later.